Welcome to GED Mastery. Let's talk about mean, median, mode, and range. So these are some of the statistics you have to know for the GED Science test. You also have to know these for the math test and the social studies test. So it's good to review them, but specifically we'll be using them on science material in this video. So the mean is the average. And to find the mean, you add them all up and divide by the number of numbers you added together. The median is the middle number. And if there are two numbers in the middle, you have to find the mean of those two middle numbers. So in other words, you'd have to add them up and divide by 2. The mode is the number that occurs the most. So if there's 3 5s in the list and there's no other number that's repeated, the mode would be 5. And the range is the biggest minus the smallest. Some tricks to remember these are that median has a D in the middle, just like the word middle, so that can help you remember those. And mode has a long O sound, just like most. You can also memorize this song. It's sung to the tune of Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and it's a great way to remember mean, median, and mode. Let's first look at a question with the mean. A temperature change occurs when ammonium chloride is dissolved in a water solution. The table shows the temperature change over a period of 120 seconds. What is the average temperature? So they're using the word average, which is also the mean. So that's good to remember. And they're looking for the average temperature, so we only need the numbers in this column. We'll add them all up and divide by, there's 5 numbers, so we'll divide by 5. Okay, we'll hit enter. And now we're going to divide by 5 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So I'm just going to hit divide, 5, enter. So that's our mean temperature. Our average temperature is 19.06 degrees Celsius, right? 19.06 degrees Celsius. Let's try a problem with the median. This is the same situation, the same data, but they're asking for the median temperature. So the median is the middle. And it's important that they're all in order from biggest to smallest when you're finding the median. You can't just find the middle one if they're not in any kind of order. But it does go smallest to biggest as you go up the column. So we can just cross off one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the top, one on the bottom. And there's our median temperature, 18.8. All right, let's try a problem with the range. So again, this is the same information, but they're asking for the range of temperatures. So remember that the range is the biggest minus the smallest. And the biggest number here, we know that these are in order because we've seen these numbers, but you just want to make sure. We're looking at the temperatures, and the biggest one is 21.1, and the smallest is 17.7. So we'll do 21.1 minus 17.7. And there's our range, 3.4 degrees. All right, let's try a practice problem. Pause the video if you want to try it on your own first. Density is found with the following formula. D equals M divided by V. Using the information in the table, what is the average density of the samples? So we want to find the average, which is the mean, but we want to find the average density, and they don't list the density here. They just give us this formula. We have an M and mass starts with M, and we have a V and volume starts with V. So we can probably assume that density equals mass divided by volume. So we're going to have to find the density of each of these samples first, and then we can take the average of them. So if density equals mass divided by volume, I'm going to want to do mass divided by volume, so 5 divided by 2, and then 19 divided by 11, 8 divided by 9, 35 divided by 5, and 119 divided by 31. So let's go ahead and do that first, and then we can find the average density. So my first density, I'm just going to write a D here in my new column, is 2.5. And then 19 divided by 11, 1.73, let's say, if we're rounding to the hundredths place. 8 divided by 9, 0.89. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And 119 divided by 31 is 3.84. Okay, I finally have all my densities, so let's go ahead and add those all up. And there's 5 densities total, so after we add them all up, we'll divide by 5. So 2.5 plus 1.73 plus 0.89 plus 7 plus 3.84 . Okay, now I'll divide by 5 because there were 5 numbers. And my average density is 3.2 if we're rounding to the tenths place. Let's do another practice. In some species, parental age has a negative effect on the lifespan of offspring, known as the Lansing effect. A study was done on the effect of maternal age on fruit fly lifespan. The results are in the table. What is the range of offspring lifespan? Okay, so they're looking for the range, and let's remember the range is biggest minus smallest. The biggest number here in the offspring lifespan is 65, and the smallest number is 40. So if I just do 65 minus 40, I'm going to get 25. But this is in days now, and look at all of our answer choices, they're in months. 25 days is going to be a little bit less than a month. So I'm thinking it's not C or D. So how many months is it? Well, we could do a little conversion here. 25 days multiplied by a conversion. And 1 month is, let's say, about 30 days. The days cancel out. And then if I multiply this across, I'm going to get 25 over 30. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, 0.83. So our answer is B, 0.83 months. Let's do another practice. A city measured its rainfall over a period of 11 days. Here is the data in inches. 0.5, 0, 1.2, 0.1, 0, 1.3, 0.4, 0, 2.76, 0, 1.9. What is the mean and mode of the data? We're looking for 2 things here. Let's go ahead and find the mean first. So we'll add up all our numbers and divide by however many there are. We know there are 11 numbers because it tells us right there that we have the data for 11 days. So 0.5 plus 0, we don't have to add that in there because it's not going to change our total, plus 1.2 plus 0.1. We've got another 0 there. I'm going to skip it. Plus 1.3 plus 0.4, another 0 there, plus 2.3 2.76 plus 0 plus 1.9. So that's my total, and since there are 11 days, I'm going to divide that by 11. Okay, so our mean is 0.74. At this point, if I were on the test, since the only answer choice with the mean of 0.74 is C, I would go ahead and pick C and move on to save time. I could flag my answer and come back if I wanted to spend a little bit more time with this question, or I could just move on. But let's just look for the mode. The mode is the number that occurs most frequently. I don't see any other 0.5, so that's not it. Let's see how many zeros there are. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So that's a contender. I don't see another 1.2. I don't see another 0.1. I don't see another 1.3 or a 0.4 or a 2.76 or a 1.9. So yes, my mode is 0, and that is the correct answer on both counts. Let's do one last practice. 24 dogs had puppies. The number of pups each mother had was recorded and placed in a table. What is the mean number of puppies each mother had? What is the median? So we have a table here, and this is actually a frequency table. So here in this first row, 3 mothers had 4 pups each. That's kind of like saying there's 3 4s right there. But instead of listing out all of those 4s and all of the 5s and all of the 6s, they make a frequency table like this. So if we want to find the mean number of puppies, we need the total number of puppies divided by the number of mothers. But we can't just add all of the puppies in this column. We actually have to multiply them by the number of mothers. So 4 times 3, there are 12 puppies there. 9 mothers each had 5 puppies, so that's 45 puppies. 6 times 4, 24, 14, and 48. So if we add up these numbers, we'll have the total amount of puppies. So let's go ahead and do that. So that's our total number of puppies. And we can divide that by the number of mothers. Now we could just add up the number of mothers in this column, but they've already told us that there's 24 mothers. So let's just go ahead and divide that by 24. So I'll hit divide. So the mean number of puppies is 5.958, and if we round that, that's just going to be 6. Let's find the median now. This is a little bit different than just finding the middle number here, because there's actually 3 4s and 9 5s and 4 6s. There's 24 different numbers, so we want to find the middle number out of those. Now we could write all the numbers out here. So we have 9 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we could keep going. But we know that half of 24 is 12. So if we divided these numbers into 2 halves, our first half would be the 1st through the 12th numbers, and then our second half would be the 13th through the 24th number. We could just go ahead and count what we've listed out and see if we get to the 12th number here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the 13th number would be a 6, right? There's 4 6s. So our 12th and 13th numbers are 5 and 6. And remember, if we need to find the median when there's 2 in the middle, we're going to add up those numbers and divide by 2. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. So 5.5 is halfway between 5 and 6. So our mean is 6 and our median is 5.5. Now, if we didn't want to write all these numbers out like this, but we knew that our middle numbers were going to be the 12th number and the 13th number, we could just count the number of mothers until we get to the 12th and 13th mother and then look over and see what numbers those are. So if we add up 3 plus 9, that's 12. So our 12th number would be 5. And then our very next number, our 13th number, would be a 6. So we would know that it's 5 and 6 we have to add just from looking at the table like this without taking all this time to list out the numbers. Thanks for watching. You've got this.